Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in. Now I have to coach in an hour and 37 minutes, so this will not be longer than that unless I text my client closer and push it back. But I want to talk to you about something very important, and this is to also for the young lady who put in the comments, Tony, can you do more videos for married folks? And unfortunately, majority of the people here are single, which is great for datestintheapp.com because we're going to be able to help a lot of singles, but it's not that great for people who are already married. But this is for you, and it also is for me. What you have to remember is that I'm married. So a lot of times when you live in something, you can't really speak on it as much because you in the thick of it. You learning as you going. And then so me talking to the singles, that's where I come from. That's what I was. I understand what I did wrong in single life that has hindered or hurt me in married life. And so I can better advise singles on what they need to get right while they single so that they have a smoother transition into marriage. Whereas being married, I'm learning every day. I'm growing every day. Now I've been married for 19 years. March 30th made 19 years. So what we June, April, May, June. So going on 19 years, 3 months. And this is, I'm going to share with you some things that has helped. I'm born in 1984. So technically a millennial by, 1 year, because I think they 84 or later is millennials. Well, then before it go to the whatever Gen X, Gen Z, and Y and W. But this is what I want you to really understand. If you single, you need to understand this before getting married. And if you marry, you need to remind yourself of this. And I was having a conversation with my wife, and we were talking about marriage, and we were talking about just connection and relation and how we serve each other. And one of the things that I realized that I had to come to understand in marriage is that both people have to be uncomfortable. Ironically, my third, Tony Gaskin the third, just did a video about getting comfortable in discomfort. And just sitting in his car in the front seat, just like I do on his Instagram, you'll see it, Tony Gaskins, the number 3, Tony Gaskins 3, and chip off the old block. But you have to be uncomfortable. The reason why the divorce rate is what it is, I don't know if it's 40%, 50, 60% right now. It changes. But the reason why it is what it is because humans are selfish. Humans get comfortable doing what is comfortable. And we're selfish. We want things our way. We want things to cater to us. We want what we want when we want it. And here's the unfortunate part. The unfortunate part about a relationship is that typically only one person gets it at a time. So one person will have the selfless epiphany and will go into selflessnessism, made up that word. And the other person will then rest, and they will get to a place to where they kick their feet up, because it's so easy and so tempting to kick your feet up when someone is giving you a soft life as a man or a woman. Don't just associate soft life with a woman, because a woman can give a man a soft life. If a woman cooks 3 meals a day, 1 meal a day, 2 meals a day, she have sex with him every day, she is in submission to him, she's serving him hand and foot, that man has a soft life. It don't matter if he work in construction 12 hours a day in the hot sun or in the brutal cold, he still got a soft life. because she is taking away all his pain, taking away everything he got to go through, because she doing everything. If a man takes and sits his woman down, she don't have to work unless she want to work, and he provides for her from head to toe. He take care of every single bill. She don't have to pay a single bill. She ain't got to pay her student loan. She ain't got to pay her credit card. She ain't got to pay nothing. He goes out and he does it all. Then he's giving her, and especially he not cheating on her, not beating on her, not emotionally, verbally, financially, socially, no form of abuse. She has a soft life. And so that's what people don't understand. One person can give the other person a soft life, and then the other person will end up giving back a hard life. And so if somebody got a soft life, that means somebody got a hard life. It take a hard life to create a soft life. So for both parties to have a soft life, both parties have to work hard. And the reason why the divorce rate is so high is because of selfishness. People not wanting to be selfless. But the selflessness has to be mutually agreed upon. It's a two-way street. You have to sit down and you have to lay out everything that you need. Everything that a woman wants, it has to be stated. Everything that a man wants, it has to be stated. And then when you lay all of this out, both parties have to look at the other person's list. And you have to ask yourself, is any of this asking me to compromise my religion / faith, my morals, my values, my integrity, my self-worth, my self-respect? If none of what you're being asked to do is asking you to compromise your morals and your values, your character and your integrity, it may not be your personality. It may not be the easiest thing in the world. But if you're being asked to give this particular thing and it's not changing who you are as a person in a bad way, then you have to grant it if you want your marriage to succeed. See, people say, oh, you're trying to change who I am. But are you being asked to change for the better? That's what you have to understand. The marriage should change you. You should evolve. You should grow. You need to change. Like, you could be a very passionate, intense, blunt communicator. But if your words are cutting, if your tone is inciting violence or anxiety, even though you call that you need to change, because you learned that from an unhealthy person and from an unhealthy place. If you are someone who you can't communicate, you don't communicate, you shut down and you retreat, and you're being asked to speak, to articulate, to express yourself. Yes, you're being asked to change who you are, but it's for the better. And that's what you have to understand. All change is not bad change. Changing your personality is not always a bad thing. Change is necessary for growth. Growth requires change. Let me help you understand something else about marriage. Marriage is sacrificial love. If you only do what you feel like doing when you feel like doing it, your marriage will fail. If a man only helps around the house when he feels like it, not when his woman asks him to. If she asks him, can you help me carry this? Can you lift this? Can you try to fix this? And I don't feel like it. I got a headache. I'm tired from work. I don't feel like it. The marriage is not going to last. If the man says, hey, can you cook me something to eat? Can we have sex? And she said, I don't feel like it. I don't want to. I'm this, I'm that. And that's what you give each other all the time is your feelings. And you only operate when everything is perfect, when everything is convenient, when everything feels right, the marriage is going to fail. Love is about sacrifice. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Love is about sacrifice. It's not about what you feel like when you feel like it. It's about sacrifice. And that's where people fail. Because people don't want to sacrifice. You got to do it uncomfortable. You got to do it tired. You got to do it exhausted. You got to do it when you're disinterested. You got to do it when you could not care less. You got to give of yourself. The wife is going to want to talk to the man, the husband, about things he could not care less about. The husband is going to want to talk to the wife about things she could not care less about. Both of you have to look at the other person with an intentionality, as if you are watching or reading the most interesting thing in the world. You have to give undivided attention on a daily basis. And you have to take turns. What happens is the husband will talk to the wife about stuff he wants to talk about and expect her to be engaged and responsive and intentional. And then when she turns and talks to him about stuff she wants to talk about, he says, I don't have time for that. I'm not interested in that. I'm focused on stuff that's going to move my life forward. I'm focused on making money. I'm focused on this. You want to talk about the cats. You want to talk about the kids' school. You want to talk about knitting and sewing and painting. I'm focused on paying these bills. The marriage is going to fail, and vice versa. The man want to talk to the woman, or the woman want to talk to the man about all her work drama, all her family drama, what she doing online, what she doing on Pinterest, what she doing here and there. And then when he go to talk to her about what's on his heart, what he dealing with, what he going through, and she say, I don't want to hear about that. I could not care less about you and your friends, man, bro talk, or I cannot care less about your business ideas and dreams. Whatever you want to do it. I don't want to hear about it. Like, I'm focused on keeping this house clean. I'm focused on taking care of these kids. Like, I got a migraine. I got a lot of stuff going on. I don't want to hear about that stuff. The marriage is going to fail. The relationship has to be selfless, and it has to be mutual. there has to be reciprocation. Now, here's the thing. Remember what I told y'all that my cousin taught me when we was 10 to 12 years old. And I know he was just regurgitating something he heard his dad say. He said a relationship ain't 50-50. A relationship is 51-49 because somebody got to be the bigger person. Now, people change it and say a relationship is 100-100. That is what you call semantics. It's the same thing. So, in that analogy, then the relationship would be 101-99 because someone has to be the bigger person. That's why marriages fail. Now, here's the thing. This is the thing that you cannot do. You cannot kick your feet up and just be served. You have to do everything in your power to love your spouse and to show them that you love them. And listen, what you do when you don't feel like doing it is what will matter the most. I got up and came to work today. I'm sitting here filming. I don't want to film. I love filming, but I don't want to film. I got other stuff I got to do right now. A lot of emails I got to go through. But guess what? The emails ain't making me no money. So I got to do what make money for my family. And it's also my purpose. Guess what? It's my wife's 40th birthday this year. I don't feel like giving her $40,000, but I'm able to give her $40,000. So to do what she wants to do with it. So why would I not do something that I am able to do? I don't feel like it. Yes, it sounds as crazy to me as it does to you. What? Tony, you gonna give her $40,000? You could buy her some stock. She got stock. She might not want no stock. You could pay bills with that. The bills are paid. So if she don't want it, she don't have to accept it. She can say no. No, take that $40,000, do what you want to do with it. When I told her I'm gonna give her $40,000, she didn't say. She said for 5 seconds, you don't have to do that. I said no, I want to do it. And I do got to do it. You turning 40, you only turn 40 once. So you got 16, you got 18, you got 21, you got 30, you got 40, you got 50. You know, after 21, we celebrate the decades. Some people might celebrate 25 heavy, but 30, 40, 50. So at her 30th birthday, we had a party. I think 75 guests. Probably cost between 10 and 15,000. You know, wasn't a whole lot, but it was fun. She say she really don't think she want to do a party this year. I think she realized now that she done, you know, tastes a little bit of financial freedom. She realized how money spent and what all she could do with it. I think now she realized, why do I want to pay to feed a bunch of people who gonna forget the meal, who finna go poop the meal out in two hours, and I just brought them together to dance and eat. Like, that's a date night for them. Like, what am I getting out of that? I think that's might be the idea around it. But think about that. It don't make sense. It's over the top. That's what marriage is. Marriage is over the top. Marriage is selflessness. Marriage is shutting up. Marriage is giving when you don't feel like giving. Marriage is doing when you don't feel like doing. Marriage actually is the old saying, service with a smile. So your wife could be talking to you about something, and in your head, you're saying, I do not care about this. I do not want to hear about this. I do not. But see, that's the thing. A lot of times in marriage, we're not thinking about the other person. So she's not thinking like he has bigger fish to fry. I'm sure he does not care about what I'm watching or what I'm looking at on Pinterest or this show I'm watching on Netflix. I'm sure he doesn't care about that with all he has to do. So she's not thinking about what she's asking him to engage in that may be frivolous or trivial to him, but to her, it's her part of her life. It's a part of her interest. He's not thinking how important that is to her. And he's thinking about everything he got to do. So you might be thinking like that, but you got to shut up and you got to listen. And you got to be okay listening to what she's talking about and be okay hearing her out. That's marriage and vice versa. So I've learned these things in 19 years of marriage, and no marriage is quote unquote perfect. It's perfect if you say it is. You define perfection for your marriage. What's perfect for my marriage might not be perfect for your marriage. But the question you got to ask yourself, am I happy? Am I whole? Am I full? Do I feel heard? Do I feel seen? Do I feel respected? Do I feel loved? The day I went to get gas at Costco, great savings. You pay $60 a year, I think, unless they raised it. But after 3 tanks of gas, you done pretty much made that back. So love Costco. Some of y'all might be Sam's Club folk. Costco send me a check. Sam's Club send me a check. And I went to get gas, and then I was ready to get to the office because I know I got to work. I got work to do. Some said to me, and I'm gonna show y'all how this go hand in hand. Some said to me, Tony, call your wife and ask her, do she need anything out of Costco? Because she had to go somewhere, she had an appointment or something like that today. So I call her. Sure enough, she say, yeah. I'm hoping she say no. I'm hoping she like, no, I go up there, I get it. I'm like, no, I'm right here, I get it. She was like, well, if you want to, yeah, I could send you a list of some stuff. So she sent me the list of the stuff. It was still kind of like she did it because I didn't know where nothing was. So she stayed on the phone with me and she told me where to go. And it's probably only like maybe the second time that I went in Costco by myself, maybe the third time. She does the Costco runs. That's a part of her, one of the things she does. And so I went in there and I got the stuff. Ended up giving me a couple of things out of there too. But guess what? This morning, she did something that she never does. I'm getting ready to go to work. She say, do you want a little something before you go to work? I got my backpack on. I got my breakfast she just cooked me. I got my protein shake she made me. I got my iced coffee she made me. I got my water bottle right here that she filled up for me. I'm getting ready to walk out the door. And she say, do you want some before you go to work? So guess what? By her doing something she never does in the morning like that, made me do something I never do. Do the Costco run. That is selflessness, but it is also reciprocation. Now, here's the thing. Last night, I tried to do me a little something, and she was tired. So me gave up on it. So she could have rode off into the sunset and said, bump it. Like, I'm tired. Like, so what? Big deal. Deal with it. Now, she was going to anyways, but I said, no, if you tired, I'm good. Like, I'm straight. You see what I'm saying? This how we last 19 years. She tired. I'm considerate. So I didn't get none at night. This is what a lot of relationship coaches, marriage coaches won't do. Bring you, this is what a therapist can't do. Bring you in their business. Tell you, So it was midnight. It was 12:30. Could have been 1 o'clock in the morning, but we were still up. And so it's summertime. So she lets Taylor stay up a little bit playing his Roblox when he ain't got the train in the morning. And so I said, okay, cool. And I'm sitting on my phone playing my little matching game, a little game where you match the Mahjong tiles. And it's relaxing to me. Thing put me to sleep. And so playing my little game. And here you have it. Voila. Come this morning, she say, let me make up. She say this to herself, let me make up for last night. I'm not that functional at night. I'm tired at night. He a night owl, but he also is okay with it in the morning. So let me offer something in the morning. That's marriage. What most marriages I see do, the man wants some, the woman say no. She tired, she this, she that. But then the next morning before work, she don't make up for it. The next day in the afternoon after work, she don't make up for it. So she turned them down. And then she don't make up for it. If you turn your husband down, then you got to make up for it because you was tired. And then this is the other thing that I see happening in marriages. The woman is tired, but she willing to sacrifice. And then the man takes advantage of that sacrifice, knowing that she tired or she got a headache and she's not going to enjoy it. So he climbs on top of her and proceeds to thrust into a dead fish. So that's what I'm talking about. You got to be sacrificial on both sides. The woman was willing to sacrifice by saying, we could be intimate even though I'm tired. And then the man was willing to sacrifice because he said, no, we don't have to because you're tired. And then the woman was willing to sacrifice and say, we could do it at this inconvenient time of day. And then the man was willing to sacrifice because he said, I'm finna be late to work, or I'm fully dressed, ready to go. And now you springing this on me at an inconvenient time. But when I came to you by the inconvenient time, it was the wrong time. But now you come to me by the inconvenient time, and now you want me to do it. That's what happens. Both people being selfish, both people is tit for tat. Oh, when I wanted this, you ain't want to do that. When I wanted this, you ain't want to do this. When I said this, you did that. When I did this, you did that. When I did this, I did this. I did this. You do this, you do this, you do this. And it's just a bunch of I did. You did. And that's why marriages fail. Not enough selflessness, not enough mutual selflessness, not enough mutual sacrifice, and not enough mutual reciprocation. The goal of marriage is to make your spouse happy. Don't get caught up in the semantics. Yes, happiness is their job. But their happiness also is your job. So while they pleasing themselves, making themselves happy, doing what they need to do for themselves, loving on themselves, you also supposed to be loving on them as well. You're not supposed to bring them pain and pity and agony just because they bringing themselves happiness. See, Stephen R. Covey, I think I heard it from. Seek to understand, then be understood. So when we are in a relationship, what we do wrong is we only want to get the other person to understand us and our plight and our feelings, but we don't want to understand them and their plight and their feelings. And that's where we go wrong. So you got to seek to understand. So for use myself as an example, that's easiest. For me, I have to look and I have to take and put myself in my wife's shoes without her doing the same, without me waiting on her to do the same, without me trying to dictate or determine the level to which she does the same. I have to take and put myself in her shoes. So I'm picturing being a woman, having no income, being at the mercy of what a man wants to earn and what a man wants to give, what a man wants to spend, having to serve everybody else in the house and do for everybody else what they cannot or will not do for you, having to cook everybody's food, wash everybody's clothes, wash everybody's dishes, all because you don't work. So because you don't work, now you're seen as a maid, a slave. And it's not called that. It's called mommy and it's called wife. But because you don't work, now everybody else becomes your responsibility 24 hours a day. And guess what? You don't get a lot of thanks for it. You don't get praise for it. You could sweat over that food and your child spit it out because they say it's nasty. Your husband say it's too tough or it's too tender, it's too salty, it's too hot, it's too this. And you just sweated and toiled, did your absolute best. And you gotta not only cook the food, but then you got to wash the dishes, clean the kitchen. You got to wash the clothes, fold the clothes. You got to sweep the floor, mop the floor, clean the toilets, clean the cracks and crevices. You got to do everything because you don't work. So the world puts that pressure on you that because you don't work, that's the least you could do. But nobody considers how it makes a person feel if they got their self-worth or identity or confidence from being able to earn money for themselves before. Nobody considers that. Nobody considers how it makes you feel if you can bust your butt and give everything and then be cheated on by your man, even though you serving him hand and foot. Nobody considers how it feels if you can give up your dreams, give up your job, give up your earning potential, and then get divorced and left by your man for a scallywag. And then her get everything that you always wanted. It hurt me to say it. It hurt me to think about it. But see, that's the deep dive that I do. And I can see her plight and identify with her feelings more than I can with my own because I'm in the mindset of not making excuses for myself and not having a pity party for myself. But I'm going to try to walk y'all through that on the other side, even though it's very hard for me and I can't really see it like that, but I'm going to try to. So think about that. And that's what that woman living with. So men always say, oh, I could lose half, I could lose half, I could lose half. But they're not thinking about what all that woman gave. But now on top of that, now, that's when a woman blessed to where she ain't got to work. A lot of women do everything I just said, and they work 40 to 60 hours a week. Ooh, nobody don't think about that. Then on the flip side, you got the man. Now, this is hard for me to really see because I'm a man and I'm living it. And so it's kind of hard. But what the woman has to do is look at that man and say, hey, this man is going out and providing. And he providing a living when he don't have to. He's wanted to, he's expected to, but he don't have to. He's also taking and being faithful when there's a million women that's easy and that'll throw themselves at him because he's willing to work. He's also being turned down for sex 5 to 9 times out of 10 that he asked for it. And he's remaining faithful. He's staying home. He's also taking care of himself and keeping up with himself. And in a lot of cases, watching the woman let herself go. He's also in the home with his kids. When he could, up and leave, like millions of other men. This man is opting to be more faithful than his options, even though they say a man is only as faithful as his options. Despite him having options, he remains faithful. This man is accepting responsibility to be a husband and a father in some cases when the world makes excuses for him and gives him a pass to either cheat or leave without being condemned, reprimanded, alienated, ostracized. But if a woman leaves, she the villain. Like they got a whole stat saying 70% of marriage divorces are initiated by the woman. And they trying to make it look like the woman just up and leaving because she got bored. And they ain't looking at nothing the man did and why a woman gotta leave. So the man is choosing to stay, to be married, and to be faithful when he has every excuse and every coddling person out there who will let him leave, let him cheat, and yet he's remaining faithful. That's what that woman got to look at. If one of you put on weight and the other person stays fit, you got to look at that and you got to be mindful of that and you got to appreciate that. If one of you lose your job and the other person keep working and take care of the house, take care of the family, you got to look at that and you got to be mindful of that. And so this is what people don't do. They don't take inventory of what's being done. They don't look at what the person is doing. So see, marriage is seeking to understand, then be understood. And you notice how like I had to reach for straws when I was trying to explain the man side of it, because I'm gonna be honest with you. As a man, I feel like we got it easy. Like and I'm not saying that to pander to women. Like we got it hard in the sense of if you're a full-time provider, but most men are not full-time providers. I'm a full-time provider, so I could feel sorry for myself if I wanted to. But like for me, I'm kind of expected to take care of my father, to take care of my mother, to take care of my mother-in-law. Would be my father-in-law too if he wasn't so financially, well off and successful. But me being who I am and earning what I earn, it's hands out. So I give my mom $750 every Monday. Think about that. Do you give your mom $750 every Monday? Guess what's also true about my mom? She can walk. She can talk. She can read. She can write. She can work. She don't work. My wife can do all of those things as well. She don't work. My mother-in-law can do all of those things as well. She don't work. I take care of those three women as one man. So in essence, those other women, my mother-in-law, she no kin to me. My mom, she's some kin to me, but that's like a man having three wives. If he take care of three women, but they just not two other wives. So I get no benefit from them. Like it's different if I was one of the Muslim men or one of the men's in Zulu or whatever culture where you got multiple wives and the other women that I'm taking care of, I also get to have sex with them, have kids with them and all of that. That's not the case. I got one wife. So that's one woman I get to have sex with. And if she don't feel like having sex, then I don't get to have sex and I ain't got nobody else that I could run to. I can't go out and cheat. Why? Because I done built my brand as a relationship coach. So it's double devastating. If I was a construction worker and I went out and cheated, probably nobody would care other than my wife. But because I'm a life coach, because I'm a leader, because I'm a speaker, I'm a Christian, I'm a teacher, I'm a relationship coach, I'm trapped. I can't cheat if I wanted to. Because it's not just my wife counting on me. It's millions of people counting on me. That's a lot of pressure. Because these other men out here, they could cheat on their wife. They don't lose no followers. They divorce their wife and go, quote unquote, marry up. They don't lose no followers. But me, I operate with integrity. So although I could think about doing the same thing, I can't do it. It just ain't in me. There's women that could be deemed as more fit, more pretty, more successful, more whatever, based on people's standards or how people look at it. I'm sure it's women who have seen my wife and feel like they prettier than my wife, more fit than my wife. They know they make more money than my wife because they know she don't work. So they might look and be like, man, me and Tony could be a power couple. Like I could bring more to the table than his wife bringing to the table. Like why he chose her? Why he with her? It's women who feel like that. And guess what? If I was one of those men, I could oblige and divorce my wife and go get with one of those women. Like some of the men have done that I've talked about and done videos on. They ain't gonna say their name on this video because they ain't gonna make them that special. So you see what I'm saying? Marriage is not doing what you can do. Marriage is sacrifice. Marriage is selflessness. Like, for example, the woman could go out and get any man in the world to sleep with her, but she chooses to be faithful to one man. If she wants a bigger thing, guess what? She could find it. Unless you a man with like a 15-incher, then there's bigger things out there than yours. If she cared enough and she wanted a bigger thing, she can go find it. If she wanted a man with more money, she can go find it. If she wanted a man with more muscles, she can go find it. But she's faithful to you. If she wanted a man taller, unless you win Biana, she can go find it. But she chose you. See, a woman can go get deed down by any man, regardless of her level, because men are nastier than women. A man will sleep with anything. A woman won't sleep with anything. So we can't say that the man can go out and get a woman who is taller, richer, fitter, prettier, because that woman has to choose that man. That woman has to validate that man. But women are also more picky than men. So the dad bod you got, you can't do better than your wife. That receding hairline you got, you can't do better than your wife. Not even sleeping with. It ain't even about being chosen for marriage. You can't even sleep with better than your wife, because the woman don't want you if you're not certain things. And that's the harsh reality of it. So that's why marriage is not doing what you can do, not doing what you may feel like doing, what you may want to do. Marriage is about sacrifice. Marriage is about understanding. Marriage is about being realistic, knowing who you are, knowing where you are, knowing what you can and can't do. If my wife says she want to go sleep with another man, it ain't gonna be a man out there that'll turn her down. The only man that'll turn her down is because he either gay or he's a devout man of faith. And he only turning her down because he know me and he want to be able to come tell me that he turned her down so that I could elevate him on my business and make him more money. It ain't even that he care about me. He's saying no for his own personal reasons. And guess what? As a man, I could go out there and try to cheat on my wife, but it's a lot of women who will tell me no because I'm married. And they'll be like, ain't you married? Absolutely not. And guess what? I know that's true because I meet women all the time who say that to me, that as soon as they find out a man married, it's hands off. And I feel that energy. It's very few women that talk to me without acknowledging my wife, without mentioning my wife, and without making it known that they don't deal with married men. Even in a business setting, even in a setting where it has nothing to do with me trying to shoot my shot at her, women will bring that up. There's very few women who don't bring it up. And that don't necessarily mean they want me or want to do something. They just don't bring it up. But I say that to say, you got to realize and understand that your spouse could have options that they not taking up on. And they choosing you. They choosing to be faithful to you. And you got to appreciate that. And you got to reciprocate that. And a lot of people aren't reciprocating. So here's what you have to do. Have that conversation. What do you need? What do I need? Let's go through this. Let's go through this. And then you got to deliver. Give your spouse everything that they need. Give them everything that they need. Do everything in your power to give everything that they need. As long as it ain't compromising your faith, your salvation, your morals, your values, your integrity, your self-worth, your self-respect. Like, it's different if your spouse says, I need a threesome. That's against your self-respect. It's different if your spouse say, I need a hall pass to go out and cheat. That's against your morals and values. It's different if your spouse say, I need to sit down and you need to go work, even though your job don't pay us enough to pay the bills. I need to be able to sit down and do nothing. That's a violation. That's disrespect. But if what they saying from you is I need time, I want love, I want acts of service, I want quality time, physical touch, intimacy. I want those things. They ain't ask for too much. The man say, "Hey, I would like 3 meals a day. Can you cook Can you cook breakfast? Can you pack me a lunch for work? Can you cook dinner?" That come with it. That's a part of it if that's what he want. But guess what? The woman may say, "Well, in that case, I need you to earn enough money for me to be a stay-at-home wife. And I need you to leave work at the door. And when you come in, let's sit down and eat dinner and have us a good conversation. And then after that, let's do us an activity together, play cards or mahjong or watch a game or watch a movie or read a book. And you leave work at the door. Yeah, I cook you 3 meals a day. Yeah, I have sex with you every day. But I need you to leave work at the door. I need you to look me in the eyes like you mean it. I need you to talk to me and listen to me like you mean it. I need you to make me a stay-at-home wife. Yes, listen, the ask gonna be equal now. So if you want to ask for it, you got to be ready to deliver. Don't go to asking for more than what you can reciprocate. That's the mistake that a lot of people make. They ask for, oh, I want to be treated like this, but then they don't want to give this. That's the problem. And see, there's a lot of people online that's teaching you how to game your spouse. That's horrible advice. That is terrible advice. That is asinine and absurd, diabolical, devastating, and disgusting. It's horrible. But you are being taught on YouTube how to game the opposite sex, how to use them, abuse them, and discard them, how to get everything you want out of them while they get the bare minimum out of you. And that is the lessons that you being taught by so many people online, and you buying into it. And that is a lie from the pit of hell. You're being told lies that is reinforcing and promoting your selfishness, because the adversary knows it will destroy your marriage. You got to be selfless. You got to do what you don't feel like doing. You got to do what is uncomfortable. You got to sacrifice. You got to push. You got to do it. Y'all forgive me 1 second. Got to prove this flyer. What in the world? So that's what you got to realize and understand. That's what you got to realize and understand. And once you get to that place and you are able to give your all, and this is how you find out if you married right or wrong. This is how you find out. But see, this ain't why the divorce rates are high. This ain't why. Because if you do what I'm telling you to do, your marriage gonna go up. But the reason why the divorce rate high, because nobody takes the initiative to do everything they can do. 10% of those people in that divorce court did that. Give everything. Do everything you can do. Try to be absolutely amazing. and then see if your partner will give you what you want. And that's a tough conversation that has to be had. That's a tough conversation that has to be had. And so it's like this right here. If one person is watching the other person go and rip and run and sacrifice and bend over backwards and what have you, and look at it from both angles. Don't just look at it from the angle of your gender. So it's like this right here. That man go to work. He listening to his employees, or if he's an employee, he listening to his boss. He's sacrificing. He going the extra mile. He working hard. He's attentive. He going above and beyond. And then he come home, kick his feet up. Bare minimum effort. Don't want to look his wife in the eyes. Don't want to listen to her. Don't want to be attentive. But gave everybody else all his time and attention. And then come give her his butt to kiss. Now let's flip that, because a lot of y'all can't look at it from both angles. The woman goes, she sacrificed for everybody. Her mama, the kids, her friends. She the best friend in the world. She the best mom in the world. She the best daughter in the world. All of that right there. She the best employee in the world. And then come home, her husband want some intimacy. She too tired. She too exhausted. She too drained. But he just watched her. He just watched her sacrifice and go above and beyond for everybody else. But for him, I can only cook if I feel like it. I can only have sex if I feel like it. I can only listen to your business ideas and your hopes and your dreams if I feel like it. You see how that happened on both sides? That's how you have to start thinking now. As a single, if you engage, if you married, both of y'all need to watch this. And then both of y'all need to make your list of what you need from the other one. And guess what? You can't compare, oh, that's not fair. What you're asking for isn't fair. You can't do that. Ask for what you want. They might want more than you want. They might be more needy than you. If you don't like it, be more needy. You might need to let go of that independent mindset, and you might need to be more needy. You might need to need your spouse so you can get you some reciprocation. Because that's what a marriage is. A marriage is interdependent. Single life is independent. And then childhood is dependent. The maturity continuum, I believe Stephen R. Covey teach on this, is dependent, independent, interdependent. Serves you nothing to be Mr. or Mrs. Independent. Oh, well, I don't need you for that. Oh, well, I don't need you for that. Oh, No, you got to do more. You got to give more. Got to be able to do that. So listen, that's what it's going to take. Make sure if you single, you watching this, get on the wait list, datesinapp.com, join the wait list. We building up. We keep refining the app, making it better and better and better. It will be like no other dating app. Of course, it'll have a couple of features that's similar, but it'll be like no other dating app out there. So understand that right there. Also, the boy summer program, we got Nashville next. I got to take the time to book our flights. We did have a donation come in, support from the league that we in. And so we will be able to book some of the flights. Hopefully we could afford a round trip to Nashville from Tampa and Orlando and Jacksonville. We got 3 different airports we fly out of because our players live in different places. The boys in the program live in different cities. So I know 2 out of Jacksonville, 2 out of Orlando, Maybe we'll do more out of Orlando next time and do that. So yeah. So that's what I want you to think about. Got to get to that place. Got to be able to understand and realize that it's going to take more. All the important links in the description. My one-on-ones at mymentor.life is in the description as well. God bless you, and we'll talk soon.